This is Max and Mia podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Max and Mia podcast. I'm Max.
And I'm Mia.
If you're new here, hi. Really glad you found us. And if you've been here before, you already know how this works.
We just talk.
Exactly. No textbooks, no boring grammar drills.
Just two people having a real conversation, and hopefully you're somewhere in there too. You know what's interesting? A lot of people who listen to us already have a decent level of English. They can follow a conversation, they understand movies. They've maybe even had a job interview in English.
Right. They've put in the work.
But there's this one situation that still catches people off guard. And it's not a job interview. It's not a trip abroad.
It's when English shows up where you least expect it. In your city, your neighborhood, your daily routine.
A tourist asks you for a recommendation. A foreigner sits next to you at a co-working space and starts chatting. Someone at a hostel asks what's worth doing around here.
And suddenly it's not about grammar. It's about actually having something to say. In the moment, without time to prepare.
That's a completely different skill, and honestly, one of the most useful ones.
So that's exactly what today's episode is about. Not English out there, but English when it comes to you.
We'll go through real situations, giving recommendations, suggesting places to eat, talking about what areas to avoid, and just having a natural conversation with someone who's visiting.
And it also works the other way. If you're living abroad and a friend is thinking about visiting your country, everything we cover today still applies.
We've got conversations, useful phrases, and a lot of practical stuff you can actually use.
All right, let's get into it.
Our first conversation takes place at a co-working space. We've got Pablo, who's working there one afternoon, and he runs into a foreign girl who just arrived in the city.
She's new, she doesn't know much about the area yet, and Pablo ends up being her first real contact with a local. So we'll hear how he handles giving advice, making recommendations, and even bringing up the things she should probably watch out for.
Let's listen.
Hey, sorry to bother you. Do you happen to know if there's a good place to grab lunch around here? I just moved to the area and I'm still figuring things out.
No worries at all. Yeah, there are actually quite a few options nearby. It depends on what you're in the mood for. Are you looking for something quick, or do you have a bit of time?
I've got maybe 40 minutes, so nothing too fancy, just something good.
Okay, so if you walk 2 blocks that way, there's this small local place. Nothing special from the outside, but the food is really solid. They do a set lunch, a fixed menu for a good price. Soup, a main, and a drink. Very local, very filling.
Oh, that sounds perfect, actually. Is it easy to order? My Spanish is basically non-existent.
Honestly, they're pretty used to it. Just point at what you want and smile. You'll be fine. Most places around here are pretty relaxed about that.
Good to know. And what about the area in general? I haven't really explored much yet. Is it safe to walk around?
Yeah, for the most part, it's fine during the day. It's a pretty lively neighborhood, lots of cafes, a market on weekends, parks nearby. It's got a good vibe. At night, I'd just say stay on the main streets, especially if you don't know the area yet. There are a couple of side streets that are a bit sketchy after dark, nothing too serious, but just use common sense.
That's really helpful. Thank you. I wasn't sure who to ask.
Of course. Are you here for work or just staying for a while?
Work, yeah. I'm doing a kind of slow travel thing, staying a few weeks in each place. This is my second stop.
Oh, nice. I love that. So you're working remotely?
Exactly. It's been great so far, honestly. Everyone's been really welcoming.
That's good to hear. If you're around on Saturday, there's a market about 10 minutes from here. Really worth checking out. Lots of local food, handmade stuff, good atmosphere. It gets busy, but that's kind of the point.
I'll definitely do that. Saturdays are usually free for me.
And if you're into coffee, which, I mean, who isn't, there's a really good spot 1 block past the lunch place. Small, independent, they take it pretty seriously. Way better than the chain places.
I'm absolutely into coffee. That's going on the list. You've been super helpful. I really appreciate it.
Happy to help. Welcome to the neighborhood. I hope you enjoy your time here.
I think I will. Thanks again.
Okay, so there's quite a bit going on in that conversation that I think is worth breaking down.
Yeah, and the first thing I want to highlight is how Pablo opened up the recommendation. He didn't just throw a place at her. He asked, "What are you in the mood for?" and "How much time do you have?" That's key because it shows you're actually trying to help, not just answering to get out of the conversation.
Right, and it makes your recommendation way more relevant. There's a big difference between go to that place and giving someone a suggestion that actually fits their situation.
Now, one phrase I loved was, "Nothing special from the outside, but the food is really solid." That's such a natural way to recommend a place that doesn't look impressive, but is actually worth it. You're managing expectations and building curiosity at the same time.
That structure works for almost anything, by the way. It doesn't look like much, or it's a bit hidden, but trust me. These are phrases locals use all the time, and they immediately sound genuine.
Then there's the safety part, which I think a lot of people find awkward to bring up. Pablo didn't make it dramatic. He said, "For the most part, it's fine," and then added the nuance. That balance is important. You don't want to scare someone, but you also want to be honest.
And he used sketchy, which is a really common informal word for places or situations that feel a bit unsafe or suspicious. Not dangerous necessarily, just off. That street feels a bit sketchy at night. Very useful word.
The other thing worth noticing is how the conversation shifted. It started as a quick lunch question and naturally moved into the neighborhood, the market, the coffee shop. That happened because Pablo stayed engaged. He asked her a question back. "Are you here for work or just staying for a while?" And that kept things going.
Which brings up something important. In this kind of interaction, asking one follow-up question makes the whole thing feel like a real conversation instead of a transaction.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be deep. "What brings you here?" Or, "Is this your first time in the area?" That's enough.
One last thing. Pablo used way better than when talking about the coffee shop. Way better is much more natural than much better in spoken English, especially in casual settings. It's one of those small things that makes you sound less like a textbook.
All right, so manage expectations when recommending, use phrases like sketchy for unsafe vibes, and keep the conversation alive with a simple follow-up question. Good stuff.
Okay, our second conversation goes in a completely different direction.
This one's about food, which honestly could have been a whole episode on its own.
We've got Min and Grace. They work together, and Grace is about to travel to Southeast Asia for the first time. Min is originally from Thailand, so Grace is basically treating her like a personal travel guide.
And Min delivers. This conversation is packed with food vocabulary, adjectives, descriptions, things you absolutely have to try, and a few things to maybe approach with caution.
If you've ever struggled to describe a dish in English, or you just want to expand how you talk about food in general, this one's for you.
Let's listen.
Okay, Min, I need your help. I leave in 2 weeks and I have no idea what to eat. Like, where do I even start?
Okay. First of all, don't stress. The food is incredible. You're going to love it. But yes, there's a lot, so let me break it down for you.
Please.
So the first thing you have to try, non-negotiable, is pad thai. It's basically stir-fried rice noodles with egg, bean sprouts, and usually shrimp or chicken. It's a bit savory, slightly sweet, and you can add crushed peanuts on top, which gives it this nice crunchy texture. It's not spicy by default, so it's a safe starting point.
Okay, that sounds manageable. What else?
Tom Kha. It's a coconut milk soup, really creamy and fragrant, with galanga, lemongrass, and mushrooms. It's got this warm, slightly tangy flavor that's hard to describe, but so comforting. Sometimes it has chicken, sometimes shrimp. Either way, it's one of my favorites.
Ooh, I love coconut-based things.
Then you'll be obsessed. Now, Sam Tam is a green papaya salad. It's fresh, crunchy, really vibrant. But heads up, it can be quite spicy depending on where you get it. If you're not used to spicy food, just say my pet, which means not spicy, and they'll usually tone it down.
Oh, good to know. I can handle a little heat, but not like crying at the table.
Yeah, Thai spicy is a different level. Don't underestimate it.
Noted. What about street food? Is it safe?
Totally fine as long as you use a bit of judgment. Look for stalls that are busy. That's always a good sign. If locals are eating there, you're good. And stick to things that are cooked fresh in front of you. Avoid anything that's been sitting out for a while, especially in the heat.
That makes sense. Anything I should be careful with?
Raw shellfish, I'd be cautious with that. And some of the really intense fermented stuff, it's an acquired taste, let's put it that way. Start with the crowd pleasers and then get adventurous once you've settled in.
What about desserts? Is there anything sweet worth trying?
Oh, mango sticky rice, you have to. It's sweet, glutinous rice served warm with fresh, ripe mango and a drizzle of coconut cream. It sounds simple, but it's absolutely delicious. It's also really popular as street food. You'll see it everywhere.
That sounds amazing. Okay, I feel so much better now.
You're going to have the best time. Just be open, try things, and don't be afraid to point at whatever looks good.
That conversation was full of good stuff. Let's talk about the food vocabulary first, because there was a lot of it.
Yeah, so Min used a bunch of adjectives that are really worth keeping in mind. Savory, tangy, creamy, fragrant, crunchy, vibrant. These aren't complicated words, but they're exactly the ones people struggle to use when describing food in English.
And notice how she didn't just say, it's good or it's delicious every time. She was specific. Slightly sweet, really creamy, hard to describe, but so comforting. That last one is actually a great trick when you genuinely can't find the right word.
Right. It's hard to describe, but buys you a second and still sounds natural. You're not lost. You're just being honest about the flavor.
Another thing I want to highlight is how Min handled the spicy warning. She didn't say, be careful. It's very spicy. She said, heads up, it can be quite spicy depending on where you get it. That heads up is a really useful, informal phrase for giving someone a friendly warning without making it sound alarming.
And then she gave a practical solution right after. That's the difference between useful advice and just dropping information on someone.
The street food part was good too. Look for stalls that are busy. That's always a good sign. That structure, look for X. That's a good sign, is something you can use in any recommendation context. Confident and practical at the same time.
And acquired taste. A really elegant way to say something is strong or unusual without being rude about it. So much more polite than it tastes weird.
All right, so descriptive food adjectives. Heads up for friendly warnings. Hard to describe but, and acquired taste. Good vocabulary for everyday conversations.
All right, we've got one more conversation for today. And this one's a little different in tone.
No recommendations, no food, no safety tips. This one is pure small talk. The kind of conversation that happens at the end of a trip when someone's about to leave and you just chat.
We've got a local and a tourist. The tourist is wrapping up their visit and they're sharing how it went. What they loved, what surprised them, what maybe didn't go as expected.
And this is actually the hardest kind of English for a lot of people because there's no clear task. You're not asking for directions, you're not ordering food, you're just talking.
Which is exactly why it's worth practicing. Let's listen.
Hey, last day today, right? How's it been?
Yeah, last day. Honestly, it's been really good. Better than I expected, actually.
Oh yeah? What were you expecting?
I don't know, I'd heard mixed things before coming. Some people said it was a bit chaotic, hard to get around, but it wasn't like that at all, at least not for me.
I mean, it can be. Depends on where you go and when. Did you figure out the public transport or did you mostly walk?
Mostly walked, to be honest. I like doing that in a new place. You end up finding things you wouldn't find otherwise.
That's the best way, honestly. Did anything catch you off guard?
The pace of things. I thought it would be more rushed, but people seemed pretty relaxed, like nobody was in a massive hurry. I like that.
Yeah, that's something visitors notice a lot. It's not like that everywhere here, but in this part of the city, it's pretty chill.
In the food, I was not prepared for how good the food was going to be. I kind of went in blind and just tried whatever looked good.
That's the right approach. Anything that stood out?
There was this place, tiny, no sign or anything, just a few tables outside. I had no idea what I ordered, but it was incredible. A bit spicy, but in a good way.
Those are always the best ones, the ones with no sign.
Right? I tried to find it again the next day and couldn't. Just gone.
Classic. What about things you didn't like? Be honest.
The heat, a little. Not complaining, just not used to it. And there was one afternoon where I got completely lost, and my phone died, so that was a bit stressful.
Oh no, how did you get back?
Asked someone. Took a few tries with a language barrier, but eventually someone helped me out. Actually, that ended up being a highlight in a weird way.
That's kind of how it works, isn't it? The things that go wrong are the ones you remember.
Exactly. I think that's what travel is, honestly. Half of it is things not going according to plan.
Are you thinking about coming back?
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot I didn't get to see. I feel like I barely scratched the surface.
Well, you know where to find me.
I'll hold you to that.
Okay, small talk is tricky because it looks easy on the surface, but there's actually a lot of skill involved. Let's break it down.
The first thing I want to point out is how Adelina opened, not how are you or did you have fun. She said, how's it been? That's a much more open question. It gives the other person room to go wherever they want with it.
And Alejandro answered honestly. He didn't just say, it was great, really nice. He said, better than I expected, actually. That actually is doing a lot of work there. It signals that something surprised him and naturally makes the other person want to ask more.
Which is exactly what Adelina did. What were you expecting? That's the engine of small talk right there. You pick up on something interesting in what the other person said, and you pull on it.
Then there's catch you off guard. That came up twice in this conversation, and it's such a useful phrase. It means something surprised you, usually unexpectedly. Did anything catch you off guard? Is a much more interesting question than did anything surprise you?
Alejandro also used went in blind, meaning he arrived without much research or expectations. Really natural expression. I went in blind and just tried whatever looked good. You can use that in a lot of situations.
And barely scratched the surface. That's a great idiom for when you feel like you only saw or did a small part of something. I feel like I barely scratched the surface is a really elegant way to say there's so much more to explore.
The last thing I'd highlight is tone. Notice that neither of them was performing. Alejandro was honest about the heat, about getting lost, about the stress, and that made the conversation feel real. In small talk, being a little vulnerable or honest about something that went wrong is actually what creates connection.
Nobody connects over everything was perfect. They connect over the thing that went sideways.
And that's a wrap on today's episode.
3 conversations, 3 completely different situations, but the same idea running through all of them. English doesn't only happen when you choose it. Sometimes it just shows up.
And the best thing you can do is be ready. Not perfect, just ready. Know a few phrases, stay calm, and actually listen to the person in front of you.
That's most of it, honestly.
If you made it this far, thank you. For real. It means a lot that you spend part of your day with us.
If anything from today stuck with you, maybe heads up, or barely scratched the surface, or just the idea of asking one good follow-up question, then this episode did its job.
We'll be back soon with more. Until then, take care of yourselves.
And if a tourist stops you on the street, you've got this.
See you next time.
To keep taking your English to the next level, click on the next video or explore the others we've made for you.